Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty crazy drama going on these past few days, and anyone who is a big dramaholic who may or may not appreciate this type of stuff, this is for you. This is for those gossipy people out there, myself included, because we're seeing some of the craziest and weirdest feuds I think we've ever seen in our entire lives. Now, in case you guys have missed it, Faze clan is a big overall organization, has been going through a lot of turbulence. It's one of the biggest gaming clans with a lot of really popular content creators, and just a lot of people who are just, well known in the gaming sphere. Probably a lot of you guys may or may not have known about them, but as well, there's also been a brand new recruit that was actually Chrissy from Stranger Things, if you guys remember the good old Chrissy wake up memes, or just the actual show itself, which was actually overall pretty good. But of course, she's also been a Twitch streamer and trying to make content, and has also been signed then to be a part of this overall Faze clan. And this is one of the craziest things ever, because it just went into some crazy back and forth drama. As I'm talking, like, this is some of the craziest and weirdest drama I've had a chance to see so far, and as well, it's just back and forth. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a step-by-step over here and give you guys my feedback on this one, because there's just been so much stuff that has actually went and happened. So make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on, give your thoughts and comments down below. If you guys enjoy the really random petty drama videos like this, sometimes you got to work it on in when it's the nice weekend, whatever, and let's go dive on in. So first and foremost, if you guys do or do not know, Faze clan is actually probably one of the most, I'd say, well-known gaming communities. There's a lot of cool ones like TSM, Optic. There's a lot out there, but Faze clan is probably a little bit more notorious because it's just one of the biggest companies, but as well has also even ended up on the stock market. The market cap is, as of right now, it's only around $40 million, but it did pop off. And if you guys ever look through some of these dates, like before, it was like, $15, $18 a share, and then just everything has kind of gone downhill. There's been a really bad community reception, like the leaders and founders have been all over the place with bad marketing, and as well, just a lot of folks are like, bro, this might be delisted from the stock exchange because the price just can't maintain. It's kind of like the idea of, like, let's say you have like a company, if it's just not a relevant company, not making any money, you don't really want to go and have that listed on the stock exchange. If Flutter stuff is not worth it. But basically, there's been a lot more extra stuff because they've been trying to get a lot of drama. They were kind of leaning towards a lot of things like, we want more women in the Faze clan, we want more representation, we want to go make it more diverse. And at the same time, we saw a lot of these really other big content creators, such as people like, say, like a Faze Rain, who wanted a massive tirade when it came to the actual organization itself. And somewhat like agreeable and somewhat not agreeable on what's going on. Because like Faze Rain basically over here was going through a bajillion different videos. Like, I saw some of these, I've always been familiar with their content or whatever, but they're like, hey, and they've also even removed some of the videos too, but they're like calling out people. They're saying like the contracts are bad. They're saying the actual overall like Faze clan itself is horrible. Here's why I stopped talking to my friends, and also their big drama too. And even on a secondary channel, there is also a bajillion different other things too as well. Just basically calling out folks, saying they have new members, saying we want to do better. And the drama's been pretty much all over the place. And this is where things get a little bit more on the heated side. So because of this, like all these founders, like the Faze Banks or Reigns, if you guys have been around the gaming sphere for a while, you guys are probably like, oh, okay, like I recognize these names. They're like, we got sold out. These corporate shills are just dropping and ruining this thing that we built and spent 10 years on. The stock is getting destroyed. All they want to do is spend millions of dollars on like a Snoop Dogg or this Grace Van Dien to go and basically kind of bolster up this random weird Faze clan. But at the end of the day, nothing's really happening. Like, nothing's really changing for the better, and at this point, they kind of just feel like the whole entire organization is pretty much just down, they're just gone. And that's why it's kind of been crazy, because they're like, hey, like this Faze Ring guy who's been on this big tirade being like, we need to change this stuff, you need to make it better, gotta be with the fans, gotta do it for gaming, gotta be on top of this stuff, has been everywhere, where they're like, hey, we want more women in Faze clan, because they're preemptively about to announce another woman joining, and they go and drop like a few days ago. Hey, spoiler alert, it's Grace, and the only reasons I heard was because she was on one episode of Stranger Things, and like just kind of like from people talking around the stuff too as well. And of course, they're like, hey man, like, I'm not trying to bring too much offense on this girl, this girl from Stranger Things or whatever, trying to make her way in there. But they're trying to be like, no, we care about this big corporate. Like, the corporation's trying to go and screw over everyone for money, trying to go milk as much profit as they can, because they don't necessarily care if this business fails in 2, 3, 4 years. They get their severance, they have their stock options, they could sell their stocks and probably made a few $1 million when it comes to this one. And they're also trying to be like, hey, like, instead of being like to the root and to the core of our company, they're just trying their best to go and like, find a random girl, find a random guy, and just fill in some random filler folks that don't necessarily fit into the organization to go and just try to pander to big sponsors or companies or like Wendy's commercials or whatever it might go and be. And that's why things got a little bit more on the festy side, because, well, a lot of folks even popped off on some of the stuff where they're like, hey, like this is how I reacted. Like, this is like her response being like, hey, you only got picked because you're in Stranger Things. You only got picked because of this, and this.
Me signing with Faze is because Faze Rain said that the only reason I was signed with Faze is because I was on Stranger Things. I'm sorry, sir. Were you in the meeting with us? Were you there? No, I've never fucking met you.
Be main.
And that is not why Faze signed me. Like, that is definitely how I got the meeting. Yes, I will definitely give that credit. That is how I got the meeting. But that is absolutely not why I was signed.
So basically the big thing is like, it's kind of like a two breakdowns to this, where basically she was just kind of like a collateral damage because the Faze Rain guy's on a very big tangent about the fact that it needs to change, they need to get out of this stuff, and you know, blah blah blah, they're blowing money on stuff that's not really relevant. And then she's just a random person who got the offer, said it might be a good offer, discussed it, talked about it, and that's kind of what happened for them. So my heart kind of goes out for the girl because she's basically having all this drama for no reason, just in the thing of substance, you know, just of what actually happened. But it doesn't stop there. So obviously it has a little bit of a back and forth, they're kind of like making videos on each other or tweeting at each other and like reacting on stream and all of that, which is kind of just what happens. Like if you're streaming, people are going to bring out, talk about it, you're going to mention all that type of stuff. And well, at the same time, then once again, they go and respond saying, all I want to say is you're gold in Valorant. This is from Faze Rain. You make Stranger Things your entire personality, even though you were only on one episode. You found out about Twitch through Tumblr. Not have you only ever hit a trick shot, but you don't even know what the that is. When you were still playing with Barbies, I made my first million out of this industry. On top of it, you're excruciating mid, who I would never let touch me in my drunkest night. So bro, like that went from like just like people calling out corporate life into corporate drama into going even next level, where it's like, bro, you're mid, you're ugly, you're dog at Valorant, as she's trying to go and kind of respond back on this. So basically both parties right now, they're kind of like just throwing these low blows all over the place. They're like, yo, what's going on? What's happening over here? Like I said, they're dropping YouTube videos now. There's all this random weird drama too as well. And they're also trying to say, like, this is just a bunch of corporate folks that don't necessarily know about gaming or gaming culture or the gaming world, trying their best to go and politicize who and what and where and why they should go and, well, get paid and how they should do stuff. Now, this is why both sides kind of make somewhat sense, but they really, both sides also shouldn't be stooping so low to insulting someone who, you know, just got a random contract and a random offer that made sense. Like, if it made sense for both parties, which is why they signed the contract on this Grace Girls thing, it's not necessarily her fault at all. But at the same time, someone, although it's kind of somewhat misguided, someone like a Faze Rain who's been like, bro, this clan, this community, this like multi, in theory, $billion company, because if you've been doing it for so many years, millions upon millions of YouTube views, sponsorship ads, and all that type of stuff, it adds up to a lot of money over time. Guess what? We want to make that better. So it's kind of like it seems like Faze Rain's trying to like misguide this overall drama, at least in my opinion. But one of the craziest things though too is that it went even higher. So we had the low blows and people being like, you know, deserve to be on there, and then like the Faze Rain calling her mid and saying they would never want to get together and blah blah blah. Then we also even have this one over here too, which is pretty on the hardcore stuff of the fact of the Faze Rain guy almost ODing on drugs.
He says that I don't even know what a trick shot is. You're right, I don't. And I know that that's kind of what you're known for, but I know you, Rain, as the person who almost overdosed on a live stream. And I know that you're better now, and I'm really proud of you for that. I am, because I grew up with a mom heavily into drugs, and you know those things when you're little, the things that you would make wishes on? Like when you're driving under a tunnel and you make a wish, or you make a wish on a dandelion, or you make a wish on a shooting star, anything like that. I made all of my wishes growing up that my mom would get better and stop doing drugs, but she didn't. So I am proud of you for getting better, but don't come after me for not knowing what a trick shot is, man. Like, we're not on the same plane.
So basically, we're just seeing this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth of all these type of people too as well, where everything is strange, you know, like people are basically dropping them out, people are kind of dropping like these low balls, people are going all over the place, and of course, obviously this type of clip, it went pretty all over, like even people are saying like it's pretty much just a lose-lose. So right now, they're both just kind of funny each other, everything else is just drama all over the place, and at this end of the day, it's just weird, like we're seeing all this type of stuff too as well, like basically everyone's just like, hey man, like this is just Like, let's just chill. Let's go and try to resolve this. Let's maybe meet up in person, try to make this better, because it just kind of seems like stuff's going all over the place. And it's been one of the strangest and weirdest drama. Like, I never expect to have, like, random people in FaZe Clan out there also getting in fights then with people who are on Stranger Things and having these, like, back and forth things on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. But at least if you guys are really bored and gossipy like me, at least this one is a interesting one. So it does kind of seem like the big problem is more so on the corporate side, not only between the two. And I'm sure if they sit there and talk and be like, hey, yo, let's go and hash this stuff on out, hopefully everything will be nice and dandy at the end of the day, but if not, at least we had some interesting things to go eat some popcorn to as of right now. So give me your thoughts and comments, subscribe if you guys are new, and of course, as well, this is weird, just have a good rest of your day. We'll have more normal videos all throughout the week, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching in the first place.